All right, welcome to the Brown Spade Podcast Show. So today we will be talking about the shooting, and the subject is called "A Nation of Sadness." The show is called "A Nation of Sadness." But before we begin, all right, we are back. So I'm quite sure everybody have heard this news about what happened in Uvalde, Texas. On the 24th, the 18-year-old Salvador Ramos opened fire on a Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, in the United States, of course, killing 19 children and two teachers and wounding 17 others. Earlier that day, he shot and wounded his 66-year-old grandmother. So earlier today, I got getting a lot of information keep coming in. They were saying that this because everything is a case by case incident. They were saying that this incident, what provoked this one, was that the kids was picking on him in school. But again, he's 18 years old, and you go to the elementary school. Again, it's why would you go to the elementary school? That didn't make no sense. So it's almost like I don't know if y'all trying to make an excuse for him or I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me. But it is obvious that our nation, our country, the United States, has a serious problem with guns, gun violence in particular, not just mass shootings, gun violence in particular. If you cut this television on, what you call the television, and you see, you watch news, somebody getting shot. It's multiple shootings almost every day, and especially in the urban city. But so I'm gonna go ahead and open the floor up. But I want to say uh, it's a sad day. It's unfortunate though. Those kids never thought they wouldn't see the next day. Those parents never thought that once they dropped their kids off, they thought that they was going to be able to see their children picking them up, coming home, whether it's on the school bus or picking them up from school. They never envisioned a day like that. And for this young man, this coward, whatever you want to call him, uh, and the police, by the way, killed them as well. I didn't mention that. He's got into a shootout and they killed him on the scene. But this is terrible, and it takes something like this to bring attention to the politicians. And again, everybody get into a heated debate, whether it's Democrat and Republican. It's not even about a political thing. It's about doing what's right. Go ahead, brother, please.
Nah, I mean, they need to change the laws and the policies because even if the president that's in office right now was to, go in, do his normal speech and say, the world, United States, we need to, pray and do all these other things, but they have to change these laws. Praying and hoping is not going to do anything. And on top of that, is a chance that the president that's here now, he may do 2 terms. So for 8 years, that policy might be in effect. But then you may get another president that may, change the laws and go back to the same thing. But they got to change these laws. We could continue to keep on praying and hoping, but until they change these laws, these things gonna continue to happen. I mean, they just are. There's no way getting around it.
I mean, and that's one of the unfortunate things because again, it's like a game of tug of war with these politicians, whether it's to the left or to the right, Democrat, Republican. But in the meanwhile, citizens are getting slain because you have these particular groups that there's in these politician pockets. You know, the NRA, you know, they're very deep in the Republican Party. And again, I'm not taking no sides on which party. I'm not I don't call myself a Democrat or Republican. Let me say that. But so the lobbyists, what they do, they fund these guys, and they get this financial backing when they want to go out here and do this campaigning. When it's time for them to run, so they have to support the agenda for the people who put money in their pockets so they can run. And once they win, it's a favor for a favor at that point.
And then on top of it, if you look at it, these politicians are not affected by none of these things that happens.
No.
Whether it's a mass shooting, whether it's prices on gas, prices on food, they're not affected by this. So
yeah, they're not fazed by it at all.
So these politicians, they focus on things that pretty much helps their pocket, and none of this doesn't help their pocket. That's why.
Well, I'll support the agenda of the person who sponsored them during their campaign.
Yeah, that's true. That's true as well. I don't know. I seen something recently on social media where a person made a statement of putting guns in teachers' hands. How do you feel about that, Dan?
I read that as well. The way he wrote it was, I think teachers should start carrying guns to school. And so when you said that to me, I had to reply to that because he's a friend of mine. And I told him, and I texted him. I said in so many words, not in a particular order, but I just said, okay, so they get guns, and then when the guns get stolen while the teachers are in school, then what? You know what I'm saying? So it's like
all that's gonna do is put more guns on the street.
It's gonna put more guns in the kids' hands. Not to mention the accidents and the incidents from just mishandling a gun. So for a person to say they want a damn teacher to carry a gun in school, you might as well just want the damn police to be the teacher. I mean, so what are you doing? So again, I think that was very people so quick to think that's the solution, a gun for a gun. That is not the solution. That is not the equalizer. A school is a place, it's an institution, supposed to be an institution for learning, supposed to be a safe haven for children, supposed to be the last thing thinking of when you think of violence. School is the last thing that comes to your mind. When you think of gun violence, you don't think of something. It's at the elementary school. You don't think, you're not thinking like that. So again, that's why it is a nation problem. But for people to think, and then I read the comment behind that, some female, she come with this crazy ass thing to my, yeah, I'm gonna buy me a gun tomorrow. Like, okay, so you go buy your little damn 380. So that's supposed to solve the problem of what's going on across the nation. So if everybody have a gun in their hand, that is going to solve the problem. Really?
But here's the thing. Most of these guns that are on the street are not legally bought. That's what they don't realize. So even if you buy a gun,
the more you buy, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. So even though if you buy a gun, you're gonna do the legal thing and use it if you have to. You got people that are not, they're gonna use it when they want to. Like it's gonna be scary to put guns, like just like this person here. For her to say that, has she taken any practice as far as shooting? Does she even know how to load a gun?
Look, if she wouldn't have read the comments, she probably wouldn't even thought about it.
But okay, she go get a gun, then what?
Right. These are the same people. They'll have a gun. That same lady have a gun, and if she saw something across the street, she ain't gonna respond. Just a whole bunch of BS. Just to say I got a freaking gun.
I think in the schools they definitely need to, have, which I know it's shortage of police officers, but have police officers, on the school property, or have them, case out the school, because nobody should be able to walk on the school and just walk into a school and be able to do the things that we've seen. I know metal detectors is definitely, put, you don't want to do that to your schools, but you're gonna have to, because it's getting crazy. Well, it's already crazy. It's already crazy.
Right. Now we didn't have metal detectors going to school, but when we had those games like basketball games and things like that, they'll bring them out then. When we enter the game and stuff like that. But no, I'm going a little bit further. I'm going to say because I was responding to other people other than the friend that we're talking about. I responded to a couple of other people. I just think they need to put, regardless of if it's Democrat or Republican, they got to sit their asses down and they got to say, look, we gotta do something. And I get it. I'm all the First Amendment, the right to bear arms. I support that. But what I don't support is you are a citizen. You should not have a same weapon as a military person. You should not have an assault rifle. Now I'm all with it. You got your automatic weapons or whatever, your handguns. Okay, I give you that. And I'm not saying you can't have certain rifles, because some people do go hunting and things of that nature. But for you to have AK-47s, for you to have AR-15 and all these other machine guns, and then for you to have and it get even with the automatic guns, a lot of these young boys, especially in those rural areas in New York, they ain't walking around with AKs, but they got these extended clips, where it's got more than what it's supposed to have, and some of them have this thing. It's called a switch. It turns a semi-automatic to an automatic. And that is illegal. But they selling them. Somebody's selling them. They ain't just reaching it out of their behinds and finding them. You see what I'm saying? So certain things that are made should not be made for public use. That's all I'm saying. Now, if they make these guns, you should have a certain type of credential to go. If you wanted to get to the next level of guns, you need to have a certain type of credential, certain type of background, fingerprinted, the whole 9 yards. It should be like some serious paperwork going on if you're going to allow for them to have these guns, which again I disapprove of. Again, I used to own those same type of guns, but I only had them, which I purchased them legally, but I only had them because I was in a violent country, which is America. Okay, let's see. Hold on a second, please. We got hey, let's learn Spanish. What's going on? They say if they don't have these guns, how would it be raised up against the tyrant? Yeah, a tyrant government. I mean, the thing of it is this. If you look at every country, good evening, brother. How you doing? Give me a name, man. I don't want to call you Spanish TV. If you look at every country, the big countries, the heavy hitters right now, China don't have these problems. What's all right, Domain? China don't have these problems, Domain. They don't have these problems. They got 1 billion people in their country. They don't have these problems.
But one of the reasons why, Daniel, is for one, police in areas that I've been in and seen, police don't even carry guns.
But military do. What right? Military do. But and that's the problem. The thing is, we have got so accustomed to this way of life, we think that's the norm. It is not normal for a person to have these many guns. I had a whole lot of guns, man. Like I say, I'm guilty. I was guilty. I was guilty, but I got my stuff the legal way, and I had to sell them because I was leaving to become an expat. But I'm telling you, man, don't you talking about the rise of a government? You're not going to win against the government anyway. Let's just be clear about that. I don't care how many guns you got, man. Don't you realize they got some stuff? They can damn drop a bomb from their house. They can have the guy who had the bomb just like a damn drone or whatever. He's sitting in his damn bedroom at the nightstand and just let it loose if they really want to go there. So people be thinking in their mind like somebody just gonna be sitting there going back and forth with you with your assault rifle, and you think if they really felt outnumbered, they would drop bombs. And I'm talking about in the U.S., man. So y'all got to stop thinking that, oh man, this is our right. Yeah, it's your right, and it comes with responsibility. But let's be realistic. There are too many guns on our streets. I also feel like one person should only have but so many guns. If you got a hunting license, okay, that gives you a little bit more. If you got this type of license, they give you a little bit more. Something like that. We got to have some type of regulation. We need stiffer regulations. We need stiffer laws. And these guys get caught and ain't got no paperwork behind their guns. They ass need to go to jail like they killed somebody. You're right. Some would say that China is a communist state. However, I say it's because of the U.S. culture. I mean, but guess what China's saying? See, that's why. This is what China's saying. This is why we're not going that route. This is what China's saying. They looking at this saying, look, you see.
But here's the thing. I totally agree with the police are the only ones who need to have guns. And I had a conversation, and a person said, "Why? Well, if they killing us the way they killing us,
they're not having this in European countries. Don't walk around like that."
And I told them, I said, I've been to Barcelona. Like every place I've been, I felt safer there than I do in the U.S. I felt safer there.
Right. Hey, though, man, what country you living in, brother? I know I'm kind of jumping the subject, brother. You just got my. I just read your thing. Yeah, but man, we got to get past that. And like I said, and I said this before in some previous videos, that I felt. I'm tell you how I know how messed up we are. I felt bad selling my guns because I felt like I was unarming myself. I felt like I was like naked almost. I felt like I was like I was losing some type of strength or something. It was something here that I was like, dang, I feel, it feel awkward that I don't have them. And now here's the thing. I had those guns, only time I used them when I went to the range. Well, the assault rifles.
He said, but don't tell him that.
Yeah. Right. Okay, cool, man. Colombia, man. Be safe in Colombia, man.
Yeah, man. It's sad. Like, it's sad. And I think as far as the security in the school, why don't they build these schools to where you come on a property, they see you before you even reach the school? They can build these schools to where before you even get but
the thing is, clear right now, they got to do a serious sweep with these guns, man. I mean, serious sweep.
They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that.
Listen, after this incident, something gonna give.
Daniel, they're not gonna do that.
Okay.
They're not.
Fair enough. All we can do is
and like I said, let's say what's the name? Biden does change some law. He could be going in after 2 terms.
No. This gonna be where both sides gonna meet up, and this ain't gonna switch up regardless of who in there. This incident just took place. They gotta put something in place. Hey, but anyway, go ahead. Say what you about to say.
No, I was gonna say we'll see.
We'll see. So I just got a little something. Yeah, there you go. Yep, you're right about the NRA. Yep, they own particularly the Republicans. Particularly the Republicans, because those are the ones who always.
These guys are invested. These guys are invested in the guns and the bullets.
Gracias, Mom. Gracias. Sorry.
These guys are invested. Like you said, with these politicians. But the politicians have money in that they receive as well in invested in these guns and these bullets. I mean,
right.
It makes sense. I understand. That's why I don't think they're gonna do anything about it, because there's so many people that's invested into selling these guns.
So hold on a second, Brother Clayton. I'm about to do a little something. Just hold tight. Hold tight.
I'm not going to talk about basketball.
Nothing's
happened to our team in the last 6 hours. We're going to start the same way tonight. Any basketball questions don't matter. Since we left shoot around, 14 children were killed 400 miles from here, and a teacher. And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly Black people killed in a supermarket in Buffalo. We've had Asian churchgoers killed in Southern California, and now we have children murdered at school. When are we going to do something? I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough. There's 50 senators right now who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is a background check rule that the House passed a couple of years ago. It's been sitting there for 2 years. And there's a reason they won't vote on it, to hold on to power. So I ask you, Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything about the violence and school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, are you going to put your own desire for power ahead of the lives of our children and our elderly and our churchgoers? Because that's what it looks like. It's what we do every week. So I'm fed up. I've had enough. We're going to play the game tonight, but I want every person here, every person listening to this, to think about your own child or grandchild or mother or father or sister, brother. How would you feel if this happened to you today? We can't get numb to this. We can't sit here and just read about it and go, well, let's have a moment of silence. Yeah, go Dubs, Come on, Mavs, let's go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go play a basketball game. And 50 senators in Washington are going to hold us hostage. Do you realize that 90% of Americans, regardless of political party, want background check, universal background check? 90% of us, we are being held hostage by 50 senators in Washington who refuse to even put it to a vote, despite what we, the American people, want. They won't vote on it because they want to hold on to their own power. It's pathetic. I've had enough.
All right. Hold on. Let me get back here. You saw that?
Oh yeah. I seen it the other day. Well, I seen it.
Happened with our team in the last 6 hours. We're going to start.
There we go. Yeah, that was Steve Kerr saying his little piece.
I agree. They not. I mean,
the government will not do anything to make a change. Our best option is to become expat. Hey, brother.
Yeah, so listen. Let me tell you how they would change. Let me tell you how they would change the laws.
That's why I'm here in the DR, brother. I feel you, brother.
Let me tell you how they would change the laws. If more blacks was to go out and get licensed, and get guns, get guns legally, they would change them damn laws. They would change them laws because it happened before. It happened before with the Black Panthers, and they started, teaching and training blacks their rights on gun laws. And I forget the year it was, but they actually, it was more and more purchase of guns in the black community. Then they changed the law like a year or two later. They had to. Yeah, if we was to all go out and start buying guns, I promise you, black folks start buying guns legally, they'll change them laws. They will. Yeah. That's one way they'll change the laws.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. Okay, so we're gonna go into another video. So again, y'all just bear with us. I like this guy right here, Mr. Chris Caruso.
Okay.
I mean, he was very passionate. But anyway, let me go ahead and put that in there.
The same way tonight. Any basketball questions don't matter.
Oh no. That's hold on, man. Why is it still playing? Hold on, man.
Let me say a couple things here right out of the gate. Number one, something is wrong with the United States of America when an 18-year-old kid on his birthday goes out there and buys 2 assault weapons, rifles. In May, this kid, 18 years old, can't have a drink in Texas. Would you allow your kid, he came home at 18, hey, Mom, look what I got for my birthday, bought 2 assault rifles. You go crazy. He didn't have that parental supervision. Nobody checked. Nobody did anything. So Kerr's 1,000% right. Secondly, all the folks who make a big deal, this is about mental illness. Well, how come this doesn't happen in Britain? I was in Ireland. There's no mental illness in Ireland? France, Spain, Germany, Italy. You don't see this happening in those countries because the gun availability is not there. You are not a 15-year-old kid at a boarding school in Britain who can walk into a gun shop and buy 330 magazines and 5 assault weapons. You can in the United States. And although Biden, the president, he says what he wants, do something. Obama did after Sandy Hook. He did everything he could. Nobody followed suit. And although I try to play it right down the middle, I vote both Republican and Democrat. I vote for the best man all the time. In the history of since 1980, vote for the best man. Bottom line is, in this particular situation, Kerr's right. It's about the Republicans in that Senate who are wrapped up with the NRA and all the gun lobbyists and everything else who are afraid. There's 310 million guns in America, 300 million people who are afraid that if they get tough here, that somehow they're going to get knocked out of office because their states love guns. Love guns. Do you think everybody brings up the Second Amendment? What do you think George Washington, Sam Adams, Jefferson, Ben Franklin, what do you think they're thinking about right now? If they thought this, there was no police, there was no state militia back in 1780 when they did the state Second Amendment. It's not the same thing. This is totally different today. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're going to bring up the Second Amendment, well, I have my right to have guns, and you're going to bring up something that was passed in 1780 and say that applies to today? That is absolutely absurd. And the other thing, Abbott, the governor, and again, I play it right down the middle. Cruz, that senator. And how about the representative of that community that were in West San Antonio and West Texas? They all voted no on gun control deals in March. They voted no on it. And then Adam yesterday gives me this big deal about how we're heartbroken. Well, you had a chance to do something about it. You did nothing. And where are they going on Friday, half of them? To an NAR convention in Houston, Texas, for crying out loud. Houston, Texas. It's absolutely absurd. America, shape up, wake up, and do something. I don't care what it is. And yes, there are a million reasons why we have all these 18-year-old kids who feel disconnected and feel like they got to go out there and blow up a supermarket, a school, a movie theater in Colorado with armor on. They're disconnected. But I can't look at every computer. I can't look at every social media post. I can't look at every Instagram thing to see what these kids are thinking about. But what I can do, I can limit their ability to obtain weapons. That I can do. And I understand that gun companies in this country don't want that because they make a ton of money when they sell these assault weapons. So that company, that store, Dick's Sporting Goods, wherever it was, sold those 2 assault weapons to this kid a couple of weeks ago. You think they care? No, they don't. They don't care. They say they care, but they don't because they do nothing about it. And listen, I lived 20 minutes from Sandy Hook. I was there 5 days later. That is an absolute disgrace that in 9 years we have done nothing. Kurt's right. I got issues with Kurt with other issues. His China thing and everything, I could go on and on. But here he's 100% right. This does not happen in Europe, Japan, China. It does not have Israel. Name the country. It happens here. The United States of America. Because you politicians, in this case, most of them Republicans, and the president, go out there and do something. Let's go. It can't be that hard. No, the other thing that I want to say, last thing, Washington posted a great point today. One last thing.
No, go ahead.
You know who's going to get this solved? You actually need a Republican president because we're so politicized in this country that the Republicans do not want to agree anything to what a Democratic president says. So if you have a Republican president who is going to get that vote on the right, he does something, you can start to make a little movement here. And we almost did with the last president after Parkland, but he got sidetracked. What else is new? And he didn't do it. He got sidetracked. But this is getting to be much. We're starting off a sports show on this great network, and we're talking about a kid who got slaughtered, 18 people, and we're going to move on our merry way now. And we're going to show up at that gun lobby thing in Houston on Friday. You should be all ashamed of yourselves. All ashamed. And I vote right down the middle. Don't call me some leftist nutcase. I go both ways. Sorry.
Don't be.
Yeah, man. You still there, Cleve?
Yeah, I'm in.
That was deep. That was
Yeah,
deep.
I mean,
So, I mean, whether they do it or not,
I wonder.
whether they do it or not, I'm just hopeful. How about that? I'm just hopeful. I'm not gonna say. I mean, I'm like honestly, I'm 50-50. I'm hopeful, but at the same time, I'm not surprised if they don't do it, and I'd be more surprised if they did do it. But I just feel like this time they're gonna have to do something because what just took place, and both of these were both of these guys. Well, one was 17, the one who killed those elderly people in Buffalo, New York. He was 17 years of age with an assault rifle. Drove three hours to get to a particular location before he commenced his act. And then this guy here, 18 years old. And again, according to the news, that he was upset because they was talking about his attire, his clothes. And I guess, because he coming from those Hispanics, especially when they come from South America, they're not really into fashion like the Western world is.
Oh, shit, he should have.
I'm just telling you, this is what they said.
No, I'm saying instead of him going to buy guns, he should have went bought some clothes. Like we can't result.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness, what is he? Oh man,
I agree with. I agree with you. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I agree with you, man. I agree with you, Domain. It's crazy, man. Crazy. So yeah, man.
I think one of the things definitely need to happen is they have to change the laws, and also these like Dick Sports, these people that are selling these guns. Like this, they should find them. But of course, they got to change the laws first.
Yeah, at one time, Walmart may still sell them.
They do. They still.
Okay.
They do.
Yeah, as long as you come outside of the city thing. If you come outside of the city where it's rural area, they got them.
I know when we was up in New York, folks up north will come down south to get guns because they could. I mean, they just could. It was so easy.
Right.
It was so easy.
And even from a legal aspect, let's go with the black market. I mean, you don't have to necessarily go to a store. We talking about the urban cities. We talking about where in the ghetto, in the hoods, they not going to the store. They going to somebody on the street. Hey man, so-and-so got this gun for this amount. He pay his fee, he get the gun, and that's that. That's the end of that.
I seen a video. It was probably about 4 years ago, and it was probably about maybe a little longer than that, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. And they had these young guys in Chicago, young guy like 14, 15 years old.
Right.
And they was interviewing him, and they was like, "Hey, man, where are y'all getting?" They all standing there with all types of guns,
Right.
and I'm talking about AKs, all types of automatic weapons, and he was like, "Hey, man, where did y'all get these guns from?"
Right.
And you know what they said? They said a dude in a white dude in a truck pull up with these
Oh
guns.
yeah, I saw that one. That was yeah. You talking about that was in Chicago?
Yeah, it was in Chicago. Yeah,
Yeah, that was in Chicago. I saw that.
And the guy was like, "How many guns?" He said, "Man, he had over 200 guns." And he said,
but again, I hear that. I hear that. But again, most of these, especially southern states, they're opening up the floodgates. You notice for the last few months, they've been lowering. They've been lowering the bar where you could just purchase a gun without showing without background check. Georgia just did one. Mississippi just did one. So all these places where there are predominantly black people, they've been lowering the bar. So they know these fools and idiots gonna run out here and get the guns, and they ain't gonna do nothing but demolish each other. So again, I was just reading something, man. They call it a some type of cleansing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ethnic cleansing. That's what it is. Ethnic cleansing.
So
ethnic cleansing. So it's part of the plan. It's like a plan so we can exterminate each other, because they already know we're jacked up, and they already know, we quick to knock off each other in a heartbeat. So hey, all we got to do is just, hey, if we lower these things, they can solve. So for those who can go to the store, they go to the store. Those who go to the black market, let them go to the black market. Now, eventually, they're going to circle the wagon. Either somebody going to rob somebody or something. It ain't necessarily got to be somebody on the streets. You can have somebody on the streets. I mean, people do it all the time. Approach somebody who's working, pumping the gas in the store, coming out of the store, got shopping bags in hand. So these are, they used to then touch working everyday people. If you was in the streets, you just dealt with people in the streets. But they're bringing it to legal citizens, and I'm talking about in the black community in particular. So it's a lose-lose situation for us. And again, I'm with Domain. That was one of the main reasons why I left. Oh, they shooting around the innocent bystanders in the church. Yeah, that's what they did. Well, I don't know the incident in California. It was an Asian guy. I want to say he was Asian himself, and he was in an Asian church and shot Asian people. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on that. But of course, we know about the incident where the young white boy went and prayed with the black folks and shot them up a few years ago. That was one incident, and I'm quite sure you're already aware of the Buffalo situation. Yeah. Hey man, I'm get at me on Instagram too, man. I'm gonna try to get some lessons from you. Domain. What up, White? Snooky Pie. Hey man, it's all good, man. Thank you for the
ain't
support.
nothing but a gangsta party.
Hey man.
Ain't nothing but a gangsta party.
Thank you for the support.
Crip walk.
Man, let's see here. What did he say? He was a white guy shooting up black. Yeah, the Buffalo guy was a white guy. He drove 3 hours to a particular predominantly black area in Buffalo, and he just went in there. He just started shooting while he was on the outside and worked his way in. And most of them were elderly people. The youngest person was like 32 years of age. Everybody else was like over 50 years old, easily. It was just sad, man. And then he recorded it live as well.
Yeah, and I mean.
But again, I don't want to get sidetracked because a lot of times this is how we do as black folk. We focus on that, but we knocking each other off every day. So to me, gun violence is gun violence.
It is.
So that's all. I'm just want to be clear about that because I know some black people, well, man, that's better than the white. It ain't no white. Unless, yeah, that guy was racist. I'm not in his corner. Yeah, he was racist, but we knocking each other off on a daily.
It's a gun problem.
Yeah. It's a gun problem.
Yeah, it's a gun problem.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, hey, Domain, I'm at Brown Spade _. So yeah, I'm on Instagram. So just hit me up, and I'm gonna start following you as well. So I support your Instagram as well. So it's Brown Spade _. Yeah. All right. Will that happen in the DR? The answer is no. I'm gonna give you an example of what happened here. This was a few years ago. I think I told Cleveland this once before. All right, so check this out. So what happened was, hold tight, Jerry, I'm gonna get with you. What happened was there was a bank robbery. So during this bank robbery, these guys were displaying guns. Ordinary people don't walk around with assault rifles in the Dominican Republic. Now, you might get a security guard may have a 12-gauge shotgun outside of the store. You may have, Papa Bear got some plantation land and he got a little pistol on him, something like that. But these guys, it was like 2 or 3 of them. I want to say 3, if I'm not mistaken. It's been years ago. But anyway, so they robbed this bank. Shooting occurred. I think they shot one. I think they killed one. They killed a security guard. They killed one of the security guard at the bank. Then when they left there, they went to another city. They did the same thing. They robbed another bank. And then they were just moving around, right? So this was like a 3 or 4 day stakeout. When they caught up with them guys, that's one thing I do like about I know it might sound gruesome or whatever, but I think sometimes seeing stuff kind of help change people's mind too. I think America wrong for that. So anyway, long story short, he was on the run for about 2 or 3 days. Like I said, they caught one of the friends. They finally caught up with him, killed him, right? So now they still got the other guy. They caught up with him. He in the SUV. Man, them police lit that SUV up. Lit it up. And you know what? That joker was dead as fried chicken. And one thing I like about over here, they don't hold back. You know how we do. They don't be like, the cameraman sit back and don't want to show the body. Hey, listen, the cameraman was all up in them. It was just like on World Star. The cameraman be all up in there. You just see he just laying up in there, blood everywhere, got money everywhere. So to answer your question, now you can try it if you want to. You can think you back in America after you visit your cousin in New York or Philadelphia somewhere. They're not playing with you. You start doing that violent stuff, they going off. I remember another guy was stealing cars, and I think he assaulted somebody in the midst of doing it. Again, they be picking up these behaviors because they got relatives over here in the States. They got relatives in the States now, And they caught him. Boop. They do not play. Not saying they just knock you off anyway because they're really peaceful people. But if it get to the point where you just totally out of control, then they go there with you. I'm going to get one more incident. This happened a few years ago as well. This guy claiming that some kind of way he did something and he got this lady hostage. It was on TV and everything, man. And they tried to negotiate with him. They tried to spare him. He got a gun to it. He said he gonna shoot himself in the head. He brought all this attention. The police just sitting out there waiting. They just staking him out the whole day. They just talking to him. Oh no, I'm gonna kill him. Then he about to let her go. He changed his mind. Oh no, I'm gonna kill her. So they still trying to reason with the guy. Now he might have had mental issues, and notice I said had. He ain't got the mental issues no more. So I'm gonna tell you, boy, they slick over here now. They calm as a fan. So they say, hey, don't do nothing. The negotiator talking to him. We're gonna bring in the priest, because they big in Catholicism over here. The priest come in there. He got on his little priest stuff. You know what I'm saying? And hey, God this and God that, da. You know what I'm saying? So the man calming down, but the man still got a gun in here. Next thing you know, priest just came out. Boom! Hey, man, was crazy. Knocked them off just like that. The priest was not a priest. He was a police. It was crazy. That was a crazy story. But yeah, man. But to answer your question, though, Domain, Nah, brother. They ain't playing the radio over here. They peaceful. They peaceful. Now, like I say, you could drink your beverage and drive, no problem, as long as you don't hit nobody. You can have your favorite beverage in there, as long as you don't hit nobody. You can drive right around the pole. They drive too slow, speed around them. They not worried about speed, as long as you don't hit nobody. See what Jerry got, bro. To be honest, I don't believe anything will be done to me. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think nothing's gonna come out of this.
Yeah, I don't think much gonna come out of it. But again,
I'm telling you,
I'm being hopeful because that's just the human side in me to be hopeful.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Yeah.
The only way they would change them laws, I tell you, if the number of black people was to go get themselves armed legally, they would change them laws, man. They would change them laws. That's one way they will.
Yeah, but I tell you, I don't know what they're gonna do. It's gonna be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Again, I think it's sad because I just thought like today, after hearing the guy from ESPN, the Russo guy. I mean, I was like, dang, and I could tell he was very passionate. I could tell it really hurt his feelings. And then when he was so passionate about it, it made me think about and I say, man, it just reminded me again, I'm in the right place. I'm not in a violent country. And it made me feel good that, because I just had a baby, and I'm like, well, she ain't got to be a part of that. She's not going to be a part of that system where it can go down, And don't get me wrong, in any country, bad things happen all the time. But again, America's on an all-time high. That's all. And it's all about being realistic at this point. I can say, and Domingue, he can vouch for you. Like he say, he feels safe in Colombia. I feel safe in the Dominican Republic. I can walk down the street at night and I don't feel threatened whatsoever.
Man.
Whatsoever. And it ain't like it got a whole bunch of street lights with lit up like it's Buckhead. It could be the darkest road. If I'm walking down there, I don't feel threatened. I have not been screened out by the police and harassing me and things of that nature. Of course they might look at me a little bit different because they know I'm not from here because I'm taller than the average person. My walk a little different, so they already know he ain't from here. You know what I'm saying? But that's normal. That's normal. But for the most part, I haven't had any issues. I haven't had any issues. Dominican Republic been good to me.
And that's the truth. When me and my wife would travel, we look, the only time, like we went to Barcelona. We out 2-3 o'clock in the morning walking around, through the streets. Yeah. I felt safe, man. I mean, yeah. And it's the craziest thing because I'm like, it's a city. It's a city full of people.
Yeah, racial profiler. Go ahead, Clay.
I feel safe. When we was in China, the same thing. They was looking at us strange because, of course, we don't look like them. But when we got lost, I used that app to be able to speak to them in their language. And they was like, yeah, they say what they got to say and they come over in English. And I felt safe in all these other countries. Even when we went to Morocco, I felt safe. Now, when we went to the little town where we was, walking through the little cuts or whatever, like Indiana Jones, I was kind of hesitant, but I still didn't feel like, somebody was gonna kill me or anything like that, or anybody was gonna rob me.
No, it's not going down like that, man.
The more we travel, we went to Puerto Rico, went to Aruba. Like the more and more we travel, man, I feel safe in other countries than the country that I live. Like this is crazy.
It is crazy.
In other countries than the country that I was born and raised in.
And dude, I'm telling you, and I'm from Atlanta, but Atlanta ain't what it used to be.
No.
Atlanta ain't what it used to be. You got a whole bunch of mixed up nethers, just making that city just rotten to the core. And then you had this, this group going out here marching and talking about disarm the police. That was the dumbest thing ever. That whoever came up with that concept, I guarantee they ain't talking that crap now, because you made a lot of policemen quit. Crime rate now went up, and this is all these little cities, all these urban cities in particular. All these urban cities, and again, I'm not in any political party, but most of these were Democratic ran cities. They had no control of their cities. It made them look bad from a political point of view. Just being honest. That's why the mayor. That's why Bottoms didn't go for a second term, because she knew she had us screwed up.
Yeah, because the police officers started quitting because she didn't have their back.
She knew she didn't have a fucking chance to win a second term, even if she tried.
Yeah, and she didn't have their back. You know, she did not have their back.
Right. And see, Jeremy, right. This is the only country that I feel unsafe. And truthfully, I surely don't feel safe around my own people. Goddamn right. You goddamn right. And that's why White. And that's why I'm deep down here. I'm deep down here in the Campo. They call it the Campo. In English, we say the country. Hey, man, because it's just a different mindset, man. It's a different mindset. Like I say, people will look, but people are not going to bother you. You know what I'm saying? Because they just know that you're different. You're moving different. You're talking different. Even if you know a little Spanish, they know you ain't pronouncing it the way they pronounce it. So they automatically know. So yeah, man. And again, and I know this not jump. I'm just saying, and I will do another show on that for another day. But man, I'm telling you, for those who consider it being an expat, you might want to start thinking about it a little bit more deeper. You might want to start getting that plan together.
Hey,
because,
I'm there, Daniel. I am there. Yeah. I'm there. I'm definitely there.
Yeah, and it's a reality that most people can reach if you just put your plan together. Because what might be Cleve's plan might not be my plan, but at least you have a general idea, on how to do it. And it's not complicated, it's not. And some people, hell, they work online. So if you got internet, you can still be getting an American check while you're still online, Just saying. Because I like to see everybody. I like to see everybody win, and in this case, I want to see everybody peaceful.
Yeah, when we get to the point where you can actually enjoy life, man, enjoy your old age, or your youth.
Are they in the Republican cities? I don't know, brother. I don't get into the political part. I'm just saying that, I know they're sponsored by the NRA real heavy. But I'm just saying all the cities. Let me say this.
Hold on. He said, are there any Republican cities in the United States? It's Republican states.
Yeah, it's Republican states, but the cities are failing right now. You talking about Chicago? Listen to what the ones was. It's jumping right now, full of young black men, brown men, Latino. Chicago, New York, LA. Atlanta, LA, Memphis, of course, LA. So yeah, these and LA might be more of a liberal, but yeah, these things are terrible, bro. They off chain right now.
Cleveland, Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forget about Jeremy got Baltimore there. He said, I guess you mean Philly right there when he said that. I think you mean Philly, brother. Yeah, I got you. He corrected himself. Cool. Yeah, Philly. Yeah. These places, man, it's terrible. And these the same, like I said, you had this group, this Black Lives Matter. Again, I'm not in no political group. I'm not representing nobody, none of them. But they walk out here talking about disarm the police, this and that. Can you imagine if there were no police with all this crap going on? Can you imagine? It'll be 10 times what's going on now. And see what this is. Again, this is an ethnic cleansing, in my opinion, semi-purge. That's what I think it is. It's a semi-purge. Yeah. It's an ethnic cleansing to knock some of these people off, because again, we're not thinking like that because we're not conscious. We still walking around sleepwalking. And again, They know their numbers are dwindling when we talking about population. So guess what? If we start knocking each other out, then our number come back down. Their number kind of come back up. See what I'm talking about? It's a number game. Just saying. Just saying. So when we start talking about population control, we start talking about their numbers are dwindling because they're not producing as many babies and stuff like that. Talking about the Roe versus Wade, all this stuff resurfacing, all this stuff is by design. Y'all better wake up out there. But that's a whole other subject for a whole nother day. Peace, brother. Peace.
Hey, KB, what's good with you?
Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate y'all.
What's good with you?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Having no police only affect minorities. Let's just say black folks. Black folks. The rich will only hire personal security. That goddamn right.
Yeah.
And that's why the way, if you look at if you go to any major city, it's enough separation between the have versus the have-nots. It's enough such a separation between the rich and the poor. So if something like that was to happen, bro, they got enough money to put all their chips together to hire a 24-hour a crew of security armed, and they would get the gates things out, and they would get IDs, badge made. But guess what? That's why I say we talk that talk. We ain't ready. That's why I said we need to just shut up and get our shit together. All they gotta do is shut down the grocery store. Game over. They ain't even gotta pull out a gun. Shut down the grocery store. Game over. We'll start killing each other right down the spot.
Nah, that's politics.
Always say look at the yeah, that's politics. But what I'm saying is, at the same time, though, regardless of who's in office, we pulling the triggers on each other more than the mass shooting. That's all I'm saying.
See, the thing is, we make it Republicans and Democrats, whatever. But the thing is, you got rich people making decisions for poor people. How do you think that's gonna go? Yeah, Republicans and Democrats don't care about.
Right. I'm with Jeremy on that. It'll never be 100% as far as the problem. But I will say, and again, I'm not supporting any group, but I will say when those Republicans put a bill in place, we start hollering racism. But when we killing each other, what we say then? We don't say much. But as soon as a police kill a black person, now we're ready to march. Now we're ready to fight. You see, I don't understand that concept. But then we knocking each other off every day. Where's the outrage for that?
But here's the thing, Daniel. Why are we wanting them to police our community? Why we want them to take care of our community? Why don't we just go in our communities and take care of our own community? That's the big thing, and it starts inside the household.
Do I think that black police do I think black communities are over police? I'm gonna say no. Well, I don't know where you're from, Domain. I'm gonna say in Atlanta, no. So I think that's safe to say. I can't speak for every city or every municipality, but I will say in Atlanta, I don't feel like we're over police. I feel like there need to be retrained in some ways. I'll say that. I feel like there need to be some more classes to help them out. But at the same time, I feel like we need to have some type of sit down at some type of function and get ourselves equipped as well. I'm talking about as far as the law. I'm talking about as far as how to interact with the police. Because a lot of these incidents, and I hate to say it, man, a lot of these incidents we kind of bring to ourselves. Don't get me wrong. You got racist cops. I get it. You know, but I've seen some black cops get on your head quicker than a white cop in Atlanta.
Well, it's the whole temperament in the country right now is us against the police, and it shouldn't be like that.
It happens in a Republican. It happened in a Republican state. but it happened in a Hispanic community. To answer your question, brother, man. Yeah, Texas is a Republican state. But again, we're saying it's ran who the city is ran by. Now that we don't know. I'm not from Texas. Never been to Texas. I don't know. Okay, fair enough.
Well. He said it's majority run.
He's saying in Atlanta, no, because Atlanta is majority. Because that was the question he asked me previously. Is it over police? But again, here's my solution though. Here's my thing, man. Because I had this conversation the other day. So the thing is, in all across the nation, right? And all the inner cities, the inner cities in particular, we've been trained in our mind that the police is the bad guy, right? However, when we grow up from making a transition from boys to men, we have to go out and make a living. Some of us gonna very, very slim become doctors, very slim become lawyers. Somebody gonna be the plumber. Guess what? Somebody gonna be truck driver. Somebody gonna be the teacher. Somebody gonna be the firefighter. Guess what? Some of us need to be policemen as well. But we gave police such a bad name, and it's so off limit to us. We don't even want to go that route at all. So what we do when we do that, we allowing people who don't look like us police us because we don't want to walk around with a badge. Now, granted, it ain't for everybody. But we should not make it where it's the bad guy. It's a bad job. You know, it's only the cop is only doing a job, and all of his, he only doing his job. But again, how can we say black this, black that, or race this, race that? But we shy away from us even the notion of even becoming a cop. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm from one of the projects in Atlanta. I got a friend. I'm from the projects. I was a firefighter. I mean, he's like 2 or 3 years older than me. He's a cop. But we don't look bad. We don't look down on him like he did something bad. We don't, And I think this is the notion across the nation. Oh, he's a cop. Da, 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 da. Hey, man. But then when cop do something, you complain because he don't look like you. Because somebody from Jump Off Georgia said, I'm going to move to Atlanta because Atlanta pay more as a cop. So I'm going to move to Atlanta because they pay more. Not because he loved black folks. Because they paid more than that little county that he lived in. That's part of the problem. I want to lose. Let me see. I got to catch up, y'all. Y'all hold tight.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I'm becoming a police officer. I agree with you.
Police officer. That's part of the problem. We sit back. We complaining about it, but we're not. Some of our sons and nephews need to become a damn cop.
No,
hey.
Now
we are policing each other. Now we are legally. Yeah. We're now with police. Hey man, that's so and so, man. Now guess what? Y'all looking at each other. Now you don't feel too much of a threat. You ain't gonna want to do that to him because you went to school. You know him. He been part of the neighborhood. He's part of the community. Man, I know.
See, back in the days, Dan, that's how it was. Because we had guys, when I was younger, even in New York, we had guys who grew up in a neighborhood and they was police officers, and we knew them. We knew them. We was cool with them. We cracked jokes. They used to come out there and shoot basketball with us and talk.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jermaine. That's a Republican majority Hispanic community. That is true. I did hear that. I did hear that. Now that you mention it, I believe the officers who patrol the neighborhood should live in the neighborhood. But if you're not, if we're turning our nose of becoming cops, and we giving cops a bad name, we've been hearing it since we've been little, and I'm talking about the inner city. No matter where you go across the nation, then your son, your nephew, your nieces. They're not trying to become cops because we done gave it a bad notion. So now we can't complain when the guys come from the rural areas and they want that extra money. They coming down to the big city.
So let me say this. This is your local politicians that need to make it to where cops or people growing up in the neighborhood wants to be cops. This is your mayors. You know, your mayors are the ones who make it, you know, comfortable to where people in the neighborhood will want to do this. You know, because you take pride in your neighborhood, but these mayors are getting up in here okay, the last mayor we had, she was from Atlanta and she tried to do the best she can, but the mayors that we have had are not from here. They be coming from California and Wyoming and places like that. They're not even from it. They don't even know the people or the culture around here.
But what I'm saying is, Cleve, when you talking about well, let me just break it down for you. When you start talking about the head of an organization, a lot of them do bounce around from city to city.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they do that even in the fire department. It used to be where it was you work your way from within and work your way up and you become that guy. Sometimes it happens, but now, every now and then, you get somebody else coming from another city because it's so much nepotism going on. So it's some internal problems going on. That's why they hire from outside in most cases, and particularly the so-called black cities.
Well, listen, I put it like this. I 3 more years.
Yeah, I agree. Atlanta is different, but Atlanta, I'm gonna say this: Atlanta ain't what it used to be. Atlanta ain't what it used to be. That's for sure. You know, and that's because you got people coming from all over the place. You got people coming from they flood down from New York. Hell, you got some people from Miami leaving Miami because it's too expensive to come to Atlanta. California, they come from all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, corruption come in anything you do, but let's say this: most corruption is when you talk about from a police point of view, corruption is a small thing coming from a whole department. I don't think the whole department is corrupt.
No, it's not the whole department, but the culture, like you said, the culture in that department, it's corrupt. You know,
corruption always gonna sink in when you got somebody that's overworked, underpaid, and they're out here fighting crime, and there's money involved.
Shit, that's a lot of the cops that are underpaid and overworked.
That's why they do what they do. Yeah. But again, not all cops do that. Let me be clear.
No, of course not.
We got flagged a couple of things. So not all. YouTube, don't flag this one. Don't flag this one. This is a good one. This is a good video. Not all cops are bad cops.
Who said there's no
factual evidence that shows the police harass black folks? I never felt profiled with dealing with cops. I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, no. In certain areas, yeah, they will profile you in certain areas. They talking
about in New York. They just get another game. They finna get a charge similar to Rico today.
Listen, I can speak.
They talking about doing stop and frisk again. They need it.
Listen, I can speak from my own experience from where I live at. You know, and I'm in a very decent area.
That's true.
In Atlanta, and I've dealt with police on two occasions because I was black.
Hey, Jay.
He said, "Stop with this corruption crap."
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, corruption would be. That's true. That's what we say. If you pay somebody well, the motherfuckers will be like, "No, I ain't losing it about that shit." If you pay somebody well, and let me say this: police deserve to be paid.
Yeah, listen, police.
Firefighters deserve to get paid.
Listen, police.
But that's a whole other thing.
Police and teachers definitely need to get paid.
A specific group. Yeah, that's true. From time to time, but again, the solution. Again, we can play victim, but we got to stop playing the victim. I don't want to be a victim. I refuse to be a victim. Solution is some of these young black boys, the ones who want to pull out their guns, guess what? They could have been cops. Some of them could have been cops. Some of them could have joined the military, and they wouldn't be in prison.
Hey, just think about it. When we was growing up, you know, we played cops and robbers. You know, some people want to be the cops, some people want to be the robbers. But we had that thought and idea to become a cop. Hell, when I was younger, I wanted to become a cop until I started seeing the stuff that was going on. Who's delusional?
I don't know. He didn't specify.
Who was delusional?
Don't know. I think. Oh, he talking about white. So something about white said. Hold on, I got to get down to it. So you talk about Republicans. Every white, yeah. So anyway, the thing of it is, we have to put ourselves in those positions, in those slots, to help neutralize these, where these incidents won't be so big, if that's the case. But we cannot sit back. What we cannot do is sit back and complain about, the police this, the police that, when we don't want to be police, or we don't want nobody in our family to be police, because again, police can elevate to higher jobs as well.
Yeah,
they can be detectives,
killing us, and we killing ourselves as well, man.
Right.
Listen, the biggest thing is the media definitely don't help. The media definitely don't help as far as what's going on as with the public and the police. They don't help. They make it to where we just
well, let me say this, Devon. I'm not jumping anybody's sides, right? What we have to understand too is what White's saying is really not disputable, because that's his experience.
No,
he may not have experienced that, Domain. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to get you to see it from a different point of view. Again, I know that's y'all little sidebar. Y'all got something on the side going on. But if that's his experience, then that was his experience. You may have experienced it, where he may not haven't experienced it. Again, we're talking about geographical location, where you're from, where you were raised up at. Because guess what? You got some black guys in some little southern towns in Georgia. They don't have no problems at all with the police. And the police be white, somebody they went to school with.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
It depends on your location. That's all I'm saying, brother, man. I'm just trying to get you to see it from a certain perspective, because it's easy to say, somebody this, somebody that. But again, unless y'all raised up in the same area, and then he said, and then now I said, okay, fair enough. But
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Different experiences.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Atlanta police, they don't harass you.
No, not like that.
They don't harass you.
No, not like that.
They don't. Now, if you go on these outskirts, if you go to Cobb County, oh yeah. You go to Marietta, oh yeah. They don't play. Marietta don't play. Marietta will pull you over about your tent. They'll pull you over about your tent.
I'm gonna tell you like this, though, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm from Atlanta, right? And we always tell people that's not from there. We say, listen, you have Atlanta, and then you have Georgia. So once when you leave outside of Fulton County, the laws change, the rules change.
Yeah,
it's simple as that. You got Atlanta, and then you got Georgia. So some of those cities, Cleveland called out, and a few more. Even got to call out Clayco. Clay County don't play the radio with you either.
Yeah.
DeKalb, they don't play with you either. So
Douglas.
Yeah. So again, in Atlanta, it ain't like it's like that throughout the state of Georgia, because it ain't.
And when you go on the outskirts, you're not dealing with police. You're dealing with sheriffs and police. So that's a totally different environment. Totally different.
But the rules and the law change.
Yeah, they do. They do.
All right, man. All right. I'm gonna keep zooming down, man. You're right about Fulton County and other counties. Yeah, that's it. You got Atlanta, and then you got Georgia. So basically, anything outside of that 285, your ass could be in trouble.
Them rules change. Them rules change.
If you outside of that 285, yeah. You might want to remind yourself, I'm no longer in Fulton County.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, Henry cool too, but Henry will pull you over.
Yeah.
Henry pull you over because they're not playing like that. But if you not doing that the wrong, listen, I'm a firm believer. You're not doing that wrong. In most cases, we have instances where there's racist cop, but in most cases, you'll be fine. In most cases. Now, if you got the racist cop, I can't predict that. Of course, I'm not betting 1,000 here. I mean, of course, everything is a case by case basis. But in most cases, if you got your stuff in place, they may be snobby to you. They may be a little, where you can predict that there is racist. You can feel that racial energy and tone. Yeah, you can get that. But again, if your stuff lining up, tag right, insurance right, and you just ride through, chances are, if you speed, get your ticket, keep it moving. If you're not, he just stopped you because he's just being nosy because he don't get a whole lot of action.
And I've been in several situations where it could have got ugly with police, but me, I know how to talk. I know how to. I make it to where the situation is in my court. The ball is in my court. I'm not gonna even take it to the point where you gonna be able to, take control of the whole situation. Nah, we gonna be two men. Even though you a cop, we gonna be two men and we gonna have a conversation. So I know how to pretty much, because it could have got ugly, especially the one at Publix. It could have got ugly.
All right. Really, so we are past the 1 hour mark. And so what you got there? What you got on your mind, Cleve?
Huh? Oh man, listen.
We're about to bring this thing to a close. I know we can keep going, y'all, but we got to bring it to a close. I'm trying to be a good dad and help out with the baby back there.
Yeah, listen, we definitely got to change these laws, man. That's the only thing gonna change the situation. Now I don't see that happening because these politicians, they don't want them to change. They just don't. It's not coming into their household. It's not infecting their household. But I promise you one thing: you want to get them laws changed. Listen, black folk, if you can legally go buy a weapon, you go buy a weapon. I promise you, them laws will change. I promise you, them laws will change. If black folks do it in numbers, them laws will change tomorrow. They will change tomorrow.
All right. All right, guys. All right. Y'all with the sparring.
We can agree to disagree. That's the last.
Listen. That's the last dispute to the next show, and then y'all call the next show. I appreciate all y'all. This been actually a great conversation, good dialogue. Yeah. Crazy. It's been some great dialogue, but again, man, if you considering becoming an expat, if you even thought about it, this might make you think about it a little bit more harder and putting that plan together. If not, then should you? I think everybody should bear arms. I'm going to say that, and. But again, yeah. Y'all chill out, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping, man.
Peace, brother.
But anyway, man, thanks for the support. For those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Like, share with somebody. And yeah, man, continue to support the channel, man. Peace, love, and blessing to all y'all, man. We out.